could you tell us a little bit about navigating the social media world when you're a cosplayer or you're a Twitch streamer? You're kind of a niche content creator. Is there any secrets involved? Anything that you ran into hurdles and then you figured out over time?
Secrets, hurdles. I would say that the quality of your content matters, and building a schedule and an expectation of the people that follow you is the most important. So, like on Twitch, you know, if you ever look up, oh, how do I become successful on Twitch? They always recommend that you stick to a strict schedule because people will know when to look for your stream going live, and they'll know what to expect on those days if you do different things. So like you could do crafting Tuesday, D&D Thursday, something like that. Same with your Instagram account. If you typically upload a picture every couple days, let's say, people know to expect a photo every couple days. And if you maintain a high level of the photo content or the comment that you're writing, they build up that expectation and they understand that you do care about what you're saying and what you're doing. And you'll amass a following that really respects that, who you are, what you stand for. So not only do I post pictures about, myself in cosplay, but sometimes the caption isn't necessarily about the photo itself. Sometimes it's about how I'm feeling and just being honest and vulnerable and really being yourself. Because I've noticed that if you don't show your true self, people don't know who you are and they can sense fake people, for what it is. So don't be fake. Just be you. And, it's okay to talk about your troubles online because it makes you relatable and you're not the only one going through things. Everybody goes through stuff. So you'll find that people are very, very supportive. And whenever you're not feeling so hot, they do reach out to you, which is like incredible, I think. So I don't think there's really any secret. You just kind of have to observe what you're doing. Like every time the algorithm changes, I scope out, what are my friends doing? What are the popular people like Yaha, Jessica Negri, the top cosplayers doing? Are they switching up the schedule for their posts? Because at one point, people were posting like every couple days instead of every single day. And you just gotta be cognizant of those types of things, what time of day you want to post. Yeah.
Do you have an opinion on ready-made cosplay?
Yeah, I do.
May we hear it?
I think ready-made cosplay is great. So there's good things and bad things. It's great when you're the type of content creator who wants to pump out different costumes and you like switching it up and you don't necessarily care about quality itself. And I think it's a great stepping stone for people who are reluctant to jump into the cosplay community nowadays, especially because you see these people making insane cosplays at home and you get intimidated and you're like, where do I start? I just want to dress up. So, that using ready-made as an introduction to cosplay is just having fun at a convention, those kinds of things. I think it's great. In terms of like, if you want to be a high-level craftsman, it's a good way to get started and understand how patterns are made and such. And I think the elitism behind like, oh, you bought this cosplay, so you're not a real cosplayer. I think that's ridiculous because in the end, it's about dressing up and having fun and meeting people and being a weeb and talking about shows we like.
Yeah, exactly. And I think about cosplay back in, like you said, 2006 was your first year cosplay?
Yeah.
So my first time going to a convention, I didn't cosplay at that point, but I was so interested in it from the jump. It was probably around that same time, that same era. The cosplay back then was so different. And I know a lot of people, they felt intimidated because they thought that I could put a lot of hours into a cosplay for a character I really do love, but I'm going to end up with something that doesn't look that great and I'm going to have to wear it for a 3-day weekend. Now you have people who they may make one cosplay and then for the other 2 days of the convention that weekend they'll get ready made, or they'll go ready made all 3 days, all 4 days. And like you said,
Mhm.
I have no problem with that. I do think that as you get deeper into cosplay, it's good to try building your own cosplay, whether it's making armor or accessories, making the weapons. Just, it adds so much more to you appreciating the craft itself and the character and the series. But yeah, I have no problem with ready-made cosplay. It's But I do get a lot of varied opinions from people who have been in the scene for a while about it. Some feel that it's cheapening cosplay in a way, and like in a negative way. I don't agree with them. I see where they're coming from, but I don't agree with them. I think that anything that hits the mainstream and that could be accessible to everybody is great, because that means more people will love what you love, and the more that people come into something, the greater it will be for the hardcore fans. They will benefit from it too.
Yeah, I agree. And I wanted to add that I have a follower on Twitch who is from the Philippines, actually. And I learned a lot about the Philippine culture of cosplay because over there, you get a lot of really cheap, ready made cosplay shipped from China because, they're flying in materials and all of that. And it's just a lot more economical for people over there to buy a cosplay rather than to make it because things like contact cement and foam is very, very expensive to import. So, it's a lot bigger over here in the States to make your own cosplay, but you got to think of the other cultures and how they end up appreciating it and what they're able to obtain in terms of resources for cosplay.
See, you're thinking compassionately and globally. Not everyone does that.
Well, it's cosplay's global because you go online and you meet people like you got friends in Germany, you got friends in India, and you may not necessarily speak the same language, but you can look at the pictures and you know who the characters are. And like that's the coolest thing about anime. Like dressing up transcends cultures, and we really should be bonding on a global scale. Like, what the hell are we doing during this pandemic? We got to think globally now.